Before we open this file, if you enjoy these stories, please subscribe to the Eris Files. It really helps me keep making new files for you. My wife admitted she had been seeing another man. Then she looked at me and said, "Ask your brother how long he knew." That sentence hurt more than the confession. I'm Ethan Cole. My wife's name was Laura, and my brother's name is Ryan. Laura and I had been married for 8 years, and Ryan had been there for almost every important moment of my life. He stood beside me at my wedding. He helped us move into our first house. When our father died, Ryan called me every morning for 3 months just to make sure I had gotten out of bed. He was more than my brother. He was the person I called when I needed an honest answer. At least, that was what I believed. That is what made file number 015 different. Laura had the affair, and Ryan knew about it. And for months, they both looked me in the face and acted as though nothing was wrong. Laura worked as an events coordinator for a hotel group. Her schedule had always been unpredictable. There were evening receptions, weekend conferences, and last-minute dinners with clients. I was used to that. Then she started coming home later. Not hours later. 20 minutes, 40 minutes, sometimes an hour. Just late enough for me to notice. Not late enough for me to feel comfortable questioning her. Her phone changed too. She started leaving it face down on the table. If I walked into the room while she was typing, the screen went dark. If someone called during dinner, she carried the phone into the hallway. Whenever I asked who it was, the answer was always the same. Work. I wanted to believe her, so I did most of the explaining for her. Her job was demanding. She was tired. Hotel events ran late. Every excuse made sense when I looked at it alone. Together, they made me feel like I was living beside someone whose life no longer included me. One Friday night, Laura said she had to oversee a private dinner at the Bellwether Hotel. Ryan came over to watch a game with me. Around 9, Laura sent a message saying the event was running late. I looked at my phone. She's been working a lot of Fridays lately. Ryan kept watching the television. Busy season. It's April. He shrugged. Hotels are always busy. I laughed. Then I let it go. That was the first time I asked him. Not directly, but I gave him an opening. He could have told me. He could have asked a question. He could have done anything other than stare at the television and help me explain away my own wife's behavior. 3 weeks later, Ryan and I met for lunch near his office. He seemed distracted. He checked the restaurant door twice while we were eating. Then he asked whether Laura was working that afternoon. I told him she had a networking event. He nodded quickly and changed the subject. At the time, I did not think much about it. Later, I found out Ryan had seen Laura less than an hour before that lunch. She was leaving a restaurant with another man. The man had one hand against the small of her back. Ryan followed them into the parking garage. He watched Laura kiss him beside a black sedan. Then he came to lunch with me. He sat across from me while I talked about replacing the fence behind our house. He asked whether I planned to use cedar or pressure-treated wood. He had just watched my wife kiss another man, and we talked about lumber. I did not know any of that yet. All I knew was that Laura felt farther away every week. She stopped asking about my day. She went to bed before me. She bought new clothes, but I never saw her wear them when we went out together. One night, while we were cleaning the kitchen, I finally asked whether something was wrong. She kept wiping the counter. Why would something be wrong? You seem distant. I'm tired, Ethan. You've been tired for months. That upset her. She said I was taking a difficult period at work and turning it into a problem about our marriage. Then she accused me of making everything about myself. And I apologized. That part still bothers me. My wife was having an affair. I noticed something had changed, and somehow I ended up apologizing to her. The next morning, I called Ryan. I told him the conversation had gone badly. I asked whether he thought I was overreacting. There was a pause. Then he said, "Laura loves you. Don't wreck your marriage because you're anxious." That sentence stayed with me. Do not wreck your marriage. Whenever doubt came back, I repeated Ryan's words. He had known me my whole life. He understood the way my mind worked. So when he told me I was being anxious, I trusted him. What I did not know was that Laura had already talked to him. The night Ryan saw her in the parking garage, he called her. Laura cried. She said the affair had been a mistake. She promised she would tell me. Ryan gave her 1 week. 1 week passed. Then Laura told him I was dealing with layoffs at work. She said the truth would destroy me. So Ryan waited. After that, it was my birthday. Then our anniversary. Then the anniversary of our father's death. There was always another reason to stay quiet. Laura kept asking for more time. Ryan kept giving it to her. He later told me he thought he was protecting me. People sometimes call it protection when they are really avoiding a situation they do not want to face. Ryan was afraid I would leave Laura. He was afraid family dinners would end. He was afraid I would blame him for bringing me the truth. So he stayed quiet. Not because silence was best for me, because silence was easier for him. The affair lasted 10 months. I discovered it on a Tuesday morning. Laura had left her tablet charging in the guest room. We both used it for travel plans, bills, and household accounts, so picking it up did not feel unusual. A calendar notification appeared on the screen. Suite 608, 7:30 p.m., A. Bennett. At first, I assumed it was connected to work. Then I noticed the appointment was saved on her personal calendar. I searched the name. Aaron Bennett was a regional sales director for one of the hotel group's biggest clients. I had met him once at a holiday party. He shook my hand. Laura introduced me as the husband who keeps everything running at home. I found more calendar entries. Different hotels, different room numbers. Always on evenings when Laura claimed she was working. Then I opened the photo folder. Most of it was normal. Pictures of conference rooms, receipts, decorations, table arrangements. Then I found a photograph taken in a hotel mirror. Laura was wearing a black dress. Aaron stood behind her with both arms around her waist. The photograph was 6 months old. I stared at it until the screen dimmed. Then I sent the photograph and the calendar entries to myself. I did not call Laura. I called Ryan. He answered on the second ring. I found something. Ryan went quiet. It was not a normal pause. It was the silence of someone trying to decide how much I already knew. What do you mean? He asked. My wife and Aaron Bennett. Another pause. Then Ryan said, Ethan, I'm coming over. I asked him one question. Did you know? He did not answer. I asked again. Ryan, did you know? I knew something had happened. The room suddenly felt smaller. How long? It's complicated. How long? About 8 months. 8 months. My brother had known for 8 months. He watched me question myself. He listened while I described Laura's behavior. He told me not to wreck my marriage. And all that time, he already knew I was not imagining anything. I ended the call. Laura came home at 6. Ryan arrived 10 minutes later. I had not asked him to come. He came anyway. Laura walked into the living room and saw both of us sitting there. Her expression changed, not because she saw the tablet, because she saw Ryan. She knew immediately. I placed the tablet on the coffee table. The photograph was still open. Laura sat down slowly. Ethan, I can explain. I looked at Ryan. Go ahead. Laura followed my eyes. That was when she realized I knew about his silence too. She said the affair had started after a work conference. She had been lonely. Aaron made her feel noticed. She said it became something she did not know how to stop. I asked whether she loved him. I thought I did. Is it over? She hesitated. That was enough. Then I asked why Ryan knew. Laura looked at him. Ryan looked at the floor. Finally, she said, he saw us. When? Months ago. How many months? Neither of them answered. Laura reached for my hand. I moved away. Then she said, ask your brother how long he knew. Ryan stood up. He said Laura had promised to tell me. He said he kept waiting because she always needed a little more time. You told me not to wreck my marriage. I was trying to calm you down. You were trying to stop me from finding out. No. Yes. I did not raise my voice. That seemed to bother him more than shouting would have. You looked me in the face and told me she loved me. She does love you. Laura started crying. I turned toward her. This is not the moment for you to be comforted. Ryan said he had been trapped between us. I told him he had never been trapped. He had been given a choice. Tell me the truth, or help Laura hide it. He chose silence. Then he made the same choice over and over again. During every phone call, every family dinner, every conversation where I admitted that something felt wrong, he let me believe I was the problem. Ryan said, I didn't want to lose my brother. Then you should not have helped my wife lie to me. He left first. Laura stayed. She talked for almost 2 hours. The affair had lasted 10 months. Aaron was married too. They met in hotel rooms connected to her work events. Ryan had only seen them once, but Laura admitted she had told him enough to know the affair was not a one-time mistake. She apologized. She promised to end it. She suggested counseling. I listened until she had nothing left to say. Then I asked her to leave. The next morning, I contacted an attorney named Dana Whitmore. I brought the photographs and calendar entries to her office. We found messages between Laura and Aaron. We also found messages between Laura and Ryan. One message from Laura said, "He asked me again." Ryan replied, "I told him he was stressed. You need to tell him soon." In another conversation, Laura wrote, "Not this week. His father's anniversary is Friday." Ryan answered, "Fine, but I can't keep covering for you." He did keep covering for her. I printed everything. The photographs, the hotel reservations, the messages between my wife and my brother. I put them inside a black folder. On the label, I wrote, "File number 015. The divorce took 9 months. Laura ended things with Aaron after his wife discovered the affair too. She asked more than once whether we could start over. I told her I did not know which marriage she wanted back. The marriage we had actually lived? Or the version she described while hiding another relationship?" Ryan called me every week at first. I never answered. Then he started sending letters. The first few contained explanations. After a while, those stopped. He admitted he had been afraid. He admitted that each week of silence made telling me harder. He admitted that after lying to me directly, he no longer knew how to confess without losing me. For almost a year, I did not speak to him. Family gatherings changed. Our mother stopped hosting Sunday dinners because she could not sit between us and pretend things were normal. People told me Ryan was suffering. I believed them. That did not mean I was ready to forgive him. 18 months after the divorce, Ryan sent one last letter. It was shorter than the others. He wrote, "I kept quiet because I was afraid the truth would break our family. My silence broke it anyway. I am sorry I made you stand alone inside a truth I already knew." I read that final sentence several times. Then I called him. We met at a diner our father used to take us to when we were teenagers. Ryan looked older. I probably did too. He started apologizing as soon as he sat down. I stopped him. "I'm not here because everything is fine." He nodded. "I know. I don't trust you the way I used to." "I know. I may never trust you that way again." He looked down at the table. Then he said, "I know." For once, he did not defend himself. He did not try to make his guilt easier to carry. He just listened. That was the first honest conversation we had had in a long time. We did not fix everything that day. There was no dramatic hug outside the diner. No promise that things would go back to normal. Normal had included lies. I did not want that version of our relationship back. We started with coffee once a month, then a few phone calls. Later, Ryan helped me move into a smaller house on the other side of town. When we carried the final box inside, he asked where I wanted it. The label said, "Old photographs." "Leave it by the door," I said. I was not ready to open it, but I did not need to throw it away either. Laura's affair ended my marriage. Ryan's silence changed my family. Those betrayals were not the same. Laura wanted another life. Ryan was too afraid to disturb the one we already had. Both choices cost me trust. Only one of those relationships had enough honesty left to become something different. My brother knew about the affair before I did. He stayed silent because he thought the truth would destroy me. What hurt most was realizing that the person I would have called for help already knew why I needed it, and he had chosen not to answer. File number 015 was closed. The marriage was over. The silence was finally broken. My brother and I never returned to the relationship we had before. We started building a more honest one. Another file closed. Another secret exposed. If you enjoyed this file, leave a like and subscribe to the Eris Files. It really helps the channel grow. Every betrayal leaves a file.